You see the creature before you see the man who made him. That is why the story is so easy to misunderstand. You notice the giant body, the strange skin, the eyes that seem almost human, and you decide where the danger must be. But Frankenstein asks a harder question. What if the monster begins as someone who is abandoned? What if cruelty is taught before it is chosen? And what if the person most afraid of the monster helped create him? Victor Frankenstein grows up surrounded by warmth. He has a family that loves him. He has books, he has time, he has every reason to feel safe. But safety does not satisfy him. He wants to reach beyond the limits of ordinary life. He becomes obsessed with the hidden machinery of the human body. He studies decay. He studies death. He studies what remains after life leaves. Soon one idea takes over everything. If nature can create life, perhaps he can too. At first, the dream feels noble. Victor imagines defeating illness. He imagines ending grief. He imagines becoming the person who gives humanity a new future. But ambition changes when it stops seeing consequences. His room fills with tools and body parts. His letters go unanswered. His health breaks down. He forgets the people waiting for him. Day after day, he works alone. The goal becomes more important than the reason he began. He no longer asks whether he should succeed. He only asks whether he can. Then the creature opens his eyes. Victor has spent months building this moment, but when it arrives, he cannot face it. The body moves, the chest rises, the eyes look back at him, and Victor runs. That single choice shapes everything that follows. He does not teach the creature. He does not name him. He does not explain the world. He does not even stay in the room. The first thing the creature learns is rejection. His maker sees him and feels disgust. Before he understands language, he understands that he is unwanted. Imagine waking with no memory. Light hurts your eyes. Cold air touches your skin. You cannot speak. You cannot tell hunger from fear. You reach toward the only person near you, and he flees as if you are a disease. That is the creature's first human lesson. Your appearance can decide your worth before you act. He leaves the place where he was made. The world is loud and painful. Fire warms him, then burns his hand. Food calms his body. Cold makes him shake. Every discovery comes through pain. He learns like a child, but no one sees a child. People see his size, they hiss, they see his face. They attack before he can explain himself, so he hides. Near a small cottage, he finds a place to watch. A family lives inside. They are poor, they struggle, but they care for one another. The creature watches them share food. He watches them comfort the old father. He watches their faces change when one person enters the room. For the first time, he sees what belonging looks like. He begins helping them in secret. At night, he gathers wood. He clears snow. He stops stealing their food when he sees how little they have. He wants to make their lives easier. No one has taught him kindness. Still, he chooses it. This matters because the creature is not born cruel. He begins with curiosity. He feels pity. He wants contact. He wants someone to look at him without fear. His first instinct is not destruction. It is connection. While he watches the family, he learns language. Words give shape to everything inside him. He learns the names of love, family, and sorrow. He also learns that he has none of them. Knowledge does not comfort him. It gives him a clearer view of his loneliness. He finds books. He reads stories of heroes, exile, virtue, and punishment. He learns that people are judged by what they do. But each time he enters the human world, he is judged before he acts. That contradiction begins to wound him. He is told that goodness matters. Then he is punished for a body he never chose. The family's old father is blind. The creature believes this may be his chance. A blind man cannot reject his face. So he enters the cottage while the others are gone. He speaks carefully. He says he is alone. He asks for help. For a moment, he is treated like a person. Then the family returns. They see him near the old man. Fear takes over. One of them attacks. The others flee. The creature is thrown back into the same lesson. Human kindness lasts only until people see him. Soon the family leaves the cottage. The only place that felt close to home becomes empty. The creature stands inside the silence. The chairs remain, the walls remain, but the people are gone. He burns the cottage. This is the turning point. His pain does not excuse what he becomes, but the story wants you to understand the path. He was not created with hatred. Hatred grew where every attempt at love was crushed. You can see the same pattern in smaller ways. A child is called difficult before anyone asks why he is angry. A lonely person is mocked until silence becomes resentment. A student is treated like a failure until trying feels pointless. People often punish the reaction while ignoring the wound that came first. That does not erase responsibility, but it changes where responsibility begins. The creature searches for Victor. He wants the one person who cannot pretend he has nothing to do with him. On the way, he meets a young boy. For one brief moment, he thinks a child may not judge him. Then the boy reacts with fear and insults. The creature learns that the boy belongs to Victor's family. He kills him. Now the creature has crossed a line. Pain has become revenge. He is no longer only a victim. He is also a person choosing to hurt the innocent. That is what makes the story tragic. Understanding someone's suffering does not make their violence harmless. It shows how one wrong can grow into another. Victor learns that his younger brother is dead. A young woman close to the family is blamed. Victor suspects the truth. He knows his creation may be responsible, but he stays silent. The woman is condemned. Once again, Victor refuses responsibility. He did not commit the murder, but his silence helps the damage spread. This is where the title becomes clear. The creature looks monstrous. Victor often looks respectable. Yet Victor keeps choosing escape. He runs from the laboratory. He runs from the truth. He runs from the people harmed by his choices. The creature destroys lives through rage. Victor destroys lives through neglect and cowardice. Eventually, the creature confronts him. He tells Victor what happened after he was abandoned. He does not ask to be welcomed by society. He asks for one companion, someone like him, someone who will not recoil from his face. He promises to disappear far from people. Victor agrees. For a while, Victor begins the second creation, but fear returns. He imagines the pair having children. He imagines a new population beyond human control. He imagines the companion rejecting the creature. He imagines every possible disaster. Then he destroys the unfinished body. The creature watches. Victor believes he is preventing danger, but he never speaks to the being whose last hope he is destroying. He makes another life-changing decision alone. He again acts like a creator who owes nothing to what he creates. The creature answers with a threat. He will make Victor feel the same loneliness. From that moment, the story becomes a chain of revenge. The creature kills Victor's closest friend. Later, he kills Victor's bride on their wedding night. Victor loses the people who gave his life warmth. The creature becomes what everyone feared. Victor becomes consumed by hunting him. Creator and creation begin to mirror each other. Both are isolated. Both are driven by anger. Both believe the other must die before peace is possible. The difference between them becomes harder to see. One has the face of a monster. The other has the life of one. Victor follows the creature north. The world around them becomes empty. Ice stretches in every direction. There are no cities left, no families, no witnesses. Only two beings trapped inside the consequences of their choices. Victor tells his story to an explorer. He still speaks of ambition. He still warns against reaching too far. But even near death, he struggles to admit the deepest truth. His failure was not simply that he created life. His failure was that he refused to care for the life he created. That idea reaches far beyond a laboratory. You create things every day. A promise, a relationship, a company, a child, a reputation, a system, an online post sent into thousands of lives. Creation always feels exciting at the beginning. The applause comes early. The responsibility comes later. You may want the result without the duty. You may want influence without accountability. You may want to start something and disappear when it becomes difficult. Frankenstein warns that abandoned creations do not vanish. They grow somewhere beyond your sight. They affect people you may never meet. Then one day, the consequences return. The creature finds Victor after he dies. This should feel like victory. The person he blamed is finally gone. But revenge gives him nothing. He looks at Victor's body and grieves. The hatred that guided him has lost its target. Now he is left with what he has done. He knows the difference between what he was and what he became. That may be the saddest part. He remembers wanting kindness. He remembers helping the family. He remembers believing that one person might accept him. He also knows that he murdered people who never created his pain. He cannot return to innocence. He cannot repair the lives he destroyed. So he leaves to end his own life alone. The story refuses to give you an easy villain. Victor begins with love and becomes selfish. The creature begins with kindness and becomes violent. Neither is born as the final version of himself. Each becomes that person through repeated choices. But their responsibility is not equal in the beginning. Victor has knowledge, he has family, he has education, he has power. The creature has nothing. That makes Victor's first abandonment more than a personal failure. It is a failure of power. The person with the most control refuses the most basic duty. You still see this everywhere. A leader creates a harmful system, then blames the people trapped inside it. A parent wounds a child, then judges the adult that child becomes. A platform rewards anger, then acts surprised when anger spreads. A society pushes someone outside, then fears what grows in the isolation. Again, harm never removes personal choice. But choice always happens inside conditions someone helped build. So when you ask who the monster is, the answer cannot be one face. The creature becomes monstrous when he chooses revenge. Victor becomes monstrous when he refuses responsibility. The worst damage comes from the space between those choices. One person abandons, another person hardens. Then each uses the other's cruelty as permission to continue. That is why Frankenstein still feels modern. It is not mainly a warning against science. It is a warning against creation without care, ambition without responsibility, judgment without understanding, pain turned into identity, and the dangerous belief that your duty ends when you walk away. At the beginning, you saw the creature and assumed you knew the threat. Now the image has changed. The body may frighten you, but the deeper danger is harder to notice. It looks like a person refusing to stay. It looks like silence when truth is needed. It looks like power denying the harm it caused. The monster was never only the creature. The monster was the choice to create life, then abandon it. And every choice after that made the next one easier.